morning on a December Friday, or a Friday in December the 12th, as a matter of fact. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Jim. Sorry, I was getting caught up on some of the newsy stuff. Had a very wonderfully productive day yesterday, and it's kind of what I want to talk about. Actually, it's like when you dive into learning something new, or you're working out like a new process of things, and then you like do like this massive download of information because again, these gray matter things, and that's why I made this little guy for today's fun little totem. Is that's the thing. Is this little gray matter? It kind of looks like a peach pit too. But anyway, but this little fella right here just kind of serves as a reminder that this incredible piece of machinery we've got between our ears that's all organic and GMO free. It does amazing things, and the trick is sometimes we can like put so much in at once that we can be mistaken in believing that we're overwhelmed. Well, we're not so much overwhelmed. I've kind of come to terms with that yesterday. That it's not a matter of being overwhelmed by the new information, it's just you're processing it, and it's like, literally, your nervous system getting caught up from the old to the new, literally like an update, right? So, now think about this. Remember that time that you learned something new and you're like, "Oh, god, ah," and then everything else just fell off for the rest of the day? But then, when you went to sleep or even took a power nap or something, when you woke up, it was like, update complete. And then everything was calm again. And that moment is in. And here's the thing, is a very common way in which we work, which is awesome. And whenever you name it, you kind of realize that again, and it's like, and I point back to the book in this that like when it comes to like tracking down those early memories that are planted in your subconscious that you might not even realize connections still exist. See, it's like doing those downloads into the gray matter on a regular basis. It's kind of like that, but it's a little bit more immediate than like diving deeper. So you're making progress. You're making progress. You woke up today. I bet you felt better than you did yesterday, right? If not, well, hopefully we can work on that every day. To feeling better and more positive about everything you do. If you'll notice, I don't have my regular coffee cup today. That makes me a little sad, but the coffee helps ease the burden there. But man, looking around the world right now, it's messy out there, isn't it? That's why I normally don't. I like to stay up to date on what's happening here, there, and everywhere, right? Because you just don't know. But at the same time, don't let yourself get caught up into it with the doom scrolling and the conspiracies that are out there now. I got to be honest, they suck. Modern conspiracies suck. They're because you got too many microphones and cameras running and too many people with the opportunity to broadcast out and pontificate on all this stuff that and just they're half cocked. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm all about enjoying some fiction like the next fella, but sometimes it's just crazy, man. I mean, legit, just totally crazy. So let me go ahead and pin this one up to the top. Pinning up to the top. And good morning, to everybody who's already here. I thank you for joining me for this simple little coffee talk as we think about the things and talk about the things that are going on that's interesting or not interesting in the world. And more importantly, just connecting, knowing that we're all here in this thing together. And that's what we have to do. Before we go any deeper, though, I do once again want to remind you that the auction ends today for that vintage Goblin Spirit golf cart with all the proceeds going to benefit Children's Charity Ministry and in loving memory of Liz Witt and Mary Jean Krieger. The posts are there. You can find the original post on the We Love Harrison page on Facebook. We started the whole thing off when Rick kicked off. It was at $200. And as of right now, it's sitting at $350. So that's pretty awesome. And you know what? Let it go higher. Share it. Who knows? Somebody could be that one Goblin fan that really wants to own a piece of true Goblin history that's really cool. So anyway, you check that out. And then also at any given time, you can drop a 10 or a 20, a 50, a 100, or even just a buck. Whatever you can do to help out with Children's Charity Ministry because they are a fantastic group and organization that truly does something good and you see it immediately. because again, they've been feeding kids for a long time now, and I wholeheartedly support them. They're good people. They just are, all the way across the board. Other thing, shout out once again, Mayor Leslie King of Omaha. Hey, buddy, hurry up, man. We got to get together and have some coffee in the real world because this is fun. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be kind of fun to just hang out on the fly for a little bit. And plus, I'd like to find out what's going on in Omaha because I don't know anymore. I haven't been out there in way too long. It's one of those stories that or my story, I guess, is that, literally since, they put the highway in, which is great. I mean, again, it makes going north so much easier and faster. And that old pigtail trail going up through like Bear Creek Springs and backing around to Omaha, that thing got a little dicey. It did. Um, but it's been a minute. So definitely want to pop in there, say hi, take a look around, see what all is happening up there. And hope to do that soon. What else is on here? Also, don't forget, if you are in Harrison or if you're in the surrounding area and you're looking for a really fun family event, you got to come check out the circus because the Picola. Why am I doing that? The This is dumb. Why? I'm going to pull it up so I do not trounce the name because that's just rude because they're great people. Remember that time you saw that thing that just blew your mind, like a magic trick or something. And you saw that and Piccolo Zope. There we go. They're good people doing a great show. And again, this is all real live stuff. Remember, like, think about that time that like you again and you saw that amazing thing for the first time and it was like and this is what that night at the circus can bring to you because again, depending on how you see a circus, right? This is like truly an old school family traveling circus. And they've got great animal acts. There's no I don't think now there could be because I haven't seen this adventure show this year, but I don't think there's any lions, tigers, or bears. But the horse tricks and other animal tricks are fantastic, and the athleticism of the acrobats and everything else is just fantastic. Here, let me just go ahead and I'm going to copy this. And where'd I go? There I am. I'm gonna put it over here in the comments. So because there's possibility you may not have heard of it. Those things happen. But they're here through Sunday, I do believe, but tonight will be a great night, and actually, the weather is, like, perfect. Last year, not so much. It was cold, all the construction was still happening out there at Creekside, so it was muddy and funky, but that's not a thing now. Nope. So go check it out, make some memories, take some pictures, and meet some amazing people, because I'm telling you, man, the show that they put on, wow. Yeah, you can watch clips. They've got highlight videos and stuff. Ain't got nothing like the feel of actually being there under the big top. It's great. It is. So I'm hoping we get out there very well with either today, tomorrow, Sunday. I really do want to see the show again because we had a great time. We really did. Actually, the night we went, my good buddy Tracy Ryan and her family were there as well from, oh, you know Tracy? Yeah, Premier Apparel. Yeah, her. She was there along with some other folks. But it was kind of cool hanging with them, and again, we had a great time. It was fun. Let's see. So that kind of takes care of the little things that I did want to mention. Little notes on the virtual stump. It's going great. Getting people scheduled to get those little bitty who they are, what they're running for, and why they should vote. Why you should vote for them. Videos put up, and so that's all growing. And of course, after we get through next week, and we may have to kind of work around Christmas. That sounds terrible to say it that way, but so we'll probably jump into the statewide coverage right after Christmas. So, and is it terrible that I'm not sure exactly what day that falls on? Maybe. I'm busy. I keep notes, but I can't keep up with everything. Work with me. God, don't judge me, man. I don't judge you. I'm only funning you. You know better than that. I judge you every day. You know, gosh. But anywho, I do hope everyone is doing well. Because again, yesterday was great because um, some of the things that I had on my to-do list involved the biggest one is I wanted to have a mobile rig set up to where I'd like to do more live streaming from different places on some things. The phone's great. I mean, it allows you to do so much, but maybe possibly to do some things at places. Again, I haven't done that in a long time. And I also didn't want to have to like tear down my rig that I use here, which is what I currently do, because it's comfortable. That's kind of the big word there, comfortable. We get inside of stuff, and it's like this is comfy, cozy. This is good, but let's be real, it's not practical. So you gotta do something different and new. Well, in doing something different and new, and now I've actually this past year again, while you didn't see much of me, my brain was like totally in hyperdrive working on thinking about stuff, more so than working, but thinking about stuff. So I actually did put a lot of things in play uh, that was gathering dust. And I was like, enough of the dust gathering on this stuff. Get it together and get it going so you can do more stuff, Jim. I said, okay, fine. So yesterday I sat down and it's not like it was a big deal. Again, this is kind of like that whole remembering what you've always been thing. And I've done this stuff a million and one different times and different ways since all the evolution in technology. But I dreaded having to sit down and play with wires, and cables, and plugging in, and like it's a big deal. Total first world problems. And frankly, it really when I got everything set up to do the run, it, like, took all of 15 minutes. I had put it off, fought it, procrastinated for weeks. 15 minutes later, it was done. And I see there are a couple little things I wanna change and tweak, to make that mobile rig a little bit more comfortable, because I do still want it to be comfortable, and it's not about me, it's a matter of whenever I set up, if there's going to be guests and stuff like that, I want it to be very painless for them. I mean, just boom, in and out. I like that, and the speed that we can work at now is just amazing. It just is. It's sometimes it's almost like you feel guilty because it's so easy. I mean, really, I do anyway. I don't know about you, but it's like it's great. But don't get trapped in that. It just means you're progressing in a great way, and that's a little thing that gets built into the psyche of old patterns and such that I've learned a lot about because again, again, whenever you like go to learn something new and then you discover that the new is not much different than the old and it actually makes the old so much faster and better. Yeah, that's a good feeling. It truly, truly is. Once you accept the fact that you're not doing anything wrong, to know the tools and tech that's available to you in your field. Think about it like this: let's say you're a carpenter, right? And you're working on something, and you only have a hammer and nail pouch, and you go at it. Then one day into your workflow comes the nail gun, and then wow, thumbs are no longer smashed as often, and you can frame that house so fast versus just a hammer and a nail. Some will argue that, well, but there's more art and charisma and blah 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 blah. Sure, go ahead, knock yourself out. Problem is, you could turn that new tool into something that is just as magnificent a piece. You can do it. It's just funny like that. But again, it's like it was one of those things to where in that process, which was the easy one that I procrastinated on just because I didn't want to deal with the little things that I knew I had to deal with. But I got over it. I got it done. Life was good. And I got comments there. Let me get over here and see if I can get these comments rolling. Again, that's another one of those little things that I know how to do. Hey, Piccolo, thank you, Amy, and I appreciate that. And there we go. And Derek, good morning. Good morning, everybody. And again, I don't want to. I'm going to get better at this. I promise. As far as the interaction, because this is coffee talk, not talk at. So I'd love to hear back for what you guys got going on and all that. It's just getting comfortable. Again, my buddy Brandon Ruley with Stormtrack 360, which I meant to mention at the beginning. I don't know for sure. I am not a meteorologist. I'm not even a member of the American Meteorological Society. I'm just a guy who's read the weather forecast for a long time and kind of put two and two together. And it looks like now we've got a warming front coming over the next few days and into next week where it's going to like get that early spring feeling again. And that's great. I'm glad not to freeze early in the morning when I take Jack the Wonder Dog out for his morning duties and also hanging out with his gal pal for a minute. But whenever we see those temperature fluxes like that, and from what I see, that's like my buddy Tom over in Kentucky was saying they were under a winter weather warning last night. So I got to touch base with them, see how it's going. But anyway, when you got that hot and cold, that normally means bad weather. And that's why it's so crucial to follow along with Storm Track 360 because if it does get dicey around here, Brandon will be on the job. What he does, him and his crew, boom, there they are, helping you out. And so pay attention whenever it's not going crazy. Hey, looky there, it's Rick Schoenberg. Rick, I was telling everybody about the golf cart again and the fundraiser and all the great that it is for CCM as well as for the loving legacy of Liz Witt and Mary Jean Krieger. So last I heard, last time we had a chance to chat, we were sitting at 350 on that bad boy. So if you got any updates, throw them in the comments there. That would be great. Dan, I love seeing everybody who's starting to like get come on board in the mornings with this. And that's the reason why I wanted to set a specific time, an 8 o'clock thing. Because again, it works out really well on my end. I started really early today. Normally I try to like kick off at like 5, but today it was 4. Because again, yesterday I kind of overloaded the gray matter and still got a lot of stuff done, but it's like it gets taxing, and next thing you know, it's like when your nervous system gets out of balance with your brain box, it it brings you down. So yeah, it's crazy, but true. 60s on Christmas, Damien? Gosh, I didn't look that far into the future. But that's all right. I'm dreaming of a balmy Christmas. I'll take it. Why not? Because we're eventually going to get bombarded with all the snow and we can walk in a winter wonderland all we want, right? Yeah. So it'll be what it is. No new bids at this point. Ladies and gentlemen out there, fix that. Seriously, throw a buck at it. Let go for 351, 352. We can nickel and dime it up because it's all going for a good cause. So there we go. But there's that. What else is going on? That's about it. It's funny, man, because again, I was like just checking the headlines and such, and boy, howdy, it's just funky out there. But we get a lot of that because they like to report on the funky. I like to find the more happy stuff, and I always like reporting like good news things. But frankly, there's just no revenue in it, and it wasn't because of my own motivation to do it. It's just the companies that I work for, well, didn't pay the bills. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to talk about more happy things in the future as we continue everything that's going on with everything. Hey, Rick, if you're still there, put the link to the original We Are Harrison page link for the auction so folks can see that. I do it, but if I keep clicking, I'll give myself vertigo. And you're not driving. You can do it. I got faith in you. But I don't know, fellows and girls. This has been a good morning. It's been a great. Can you believe it's already Friday again? We've come around one more time. It's crazy. But for us though, we get together every morning at 8 o'clock because we don't stop on the weekends because we are connecting like humans do all the time. We don't just stop, do we? Maybe we do. Anything else on here I was wanting to talk about? Oh no, not really. The second sheet, that's all mine. You don't want anything to do with that. You might, maybe at some point you might. But again, thinking about when it comes to learning something, because one of the things that really stands out for me in doing that, and maybe a lot of times I've been a little overthinking on things, but I do it now with intent. Whenever I run into like a stumbling block of some sort, I'm like, oh man, but I got to do this, but man, it's just not feeling right. And I don't like to procrastinate because then nothing gets done. So I'm not much of a procrastinator. However, I've come to terms with sometimes when you're just not feeling it there, it's not so much resistance as you are recalibrating. And now the resistance is like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. But when you're in that real recalibration mode after learning and doing something new, you've really got to stop, and it's okay to do that because you're making a lot of progress you may not realize, and it may take a good night's sleep for it all to completely like gel, and then you wake up and you're calmer and you're better. Think about that. I know you've done it. I know you've done it. If you've ever learned anything new and that day just seemed to be the most taxing thing in the world, but then it's building that muscle memory overnight and not sure how to do that. Rick, come on. Well, I'll do it for you. Gosh. But anyway, when you let that muscle memory set overnight, it gives you the opportunity to really do some amazing things that you didn't know you could do, which in all reality, you could and can. Let's see here. Boy, it is funny how Facebook works now because I'm over at the We Love Harrison page right now and I'm having to scroll. I'm still scrolling, but I got your back, Rick. This is how we do. We're in a good Lord. And we're going and we're going. A lot of really cool stuff over there. Dun, 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 dun. Well, that's me. What is this? Now they want me to create an event for that live video I did with Rick the other day. Why? Okay. Man, I'm getting serious vertigo here. Where in the hell to go? I know it's on my page, but oh, there. No, that's the wrong one. Man, this is like a needle in a haystack right now. A digital needle in a digital haystack. Really? Come on. Maybe we'll do that for another thing sometime, Rick, where we set up an event. Maybe we could do like a live thing together and stuff. Or I'll just put you on, but normally you just want me to be on because, you're good on camera, Rick. I like what you do there. But let's see, where in the hell is it? Jesus, when is this? That's just crazy. Okay, let me go back over to my page. I think I saw something from December 1st of me, and I'm like, when did I do this? So let me come over here. You got to love live broadcasting. I do. That's why I do it. No net, baby. No net. Sort of like the folks at the circus. Come on. I'm still scrolling here. We love scrolling because then I get to see Jack the Wonder Dog again. That was a great pose with him. Go back and look. Virtual stump. Don't forget, bookmark it, save it, share it with your friends. Learn about who wants to represent you. Okay, this is dumb. I'm going way too deep now. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. No, clicked and it took me in the wrong direction. Damn it, now I got to do it again. Oh my goodness. This is so silly. Don't know why the Carol Burnett theme just popped in my head, but it did. Okay, so let's do that. All right, here we go. Let's copy the link. So that wasn't really hard, Rick. You could have done that. And we'll paste it. There it is. And go, baby, go. There it is. Okay, so it showed up. God bless America. But we made it. See, we accomplished our task. Now share it far and wide. And again, and if you can't kick in, times are hard. Everybody knows this, but if you can just take a little bit of time out of your day just to share it, because today's it. I'm not sure exactly what time the cutoff is. Probably when CCM closes, I would think. Um, but Rick, you can clarify that, right? Of course you can. But yeah, check that out. There it is. Okay. So anyway, but just again, just kind of sharing some observations that I made kind of about my own process because maybe in me figuring out my own process, my hope is that it might help you in some of those sticking points too. Again, hence why I wrote this particular book, the first one I've actually published. Now I've done little things like the destination guide, which is in need of a serious makeover and update for 2026, and I'll be getting to that soon too. Because again, it's still one of those things to where I just wanted a resource for when someone who's coming through town or new to town or in town and hadn't paid a whole lot of attention, they don't know what's in town. And I know a lot of great people who are businesses here that just need a little extra. Hello, here we are. Like it's amazing how many people don't know. It's very very interesting to me because you've got folks. Let's see. I saw you did something, Rick, and I can't see the damn comment. But how many people don't know what's here? and again, it can't be everywhere all the time, but I thought this would be a cool way to be able to say, okay, well, here's this. And it's since the city put in the city business license, if you're doing business inside of the city limits of Harrison, you have to have a permit and you get it through the city, and then that information becomes public record. So you put in the FOIA request, you get the list, and I had to do a lot of manual stuff. We'll see if we can make those better next time, but that's okay. I'm more than glad to do it because again, a lot of folks that I really truly appreciate in all that they do. I just want to keep them there or just get as much light on them as I can. That's crazy but true. But that again, I've got to wrap some other stuff up first. Only so much time in the day, and it's okay to accept that reality because it's true. And let's see. Let's get these things. Let's refresh. You ready to refresh? We're refreshing. Do you feel refreshed now? I do. And back to comments. I don't. I just. That's all right. Where are we at? It's 25 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour, 45 degrees, sunny outside, looking for a high in the lower to mid 50s. And as Damien pointed out, we'll be up in the lower 60s on Christmas Day. So that'll be fun. Again, it's like I don't get hung up on the weather. It's like if it's too hot, too cold, or anything. If it's too hot, it sucks. And way too cold can, but whatever. It'd be all right. But you do need to know when it's important. Again, say Brandon, Storm Trek 360. Oh, what else are we doing? Like I say, it's just kind of it's been a wonderfully productive week. I hope yours has too. Um, but yeah, that's about it, man. Just wanting to yeah, if I survive Sunday. What's going on? Clarify that, Damien. If I survive Sunday. What do you know that I don't? 'Cause I'm not sure. Yeah, you gotta clarify that one, brother. I know what I'm doing tomorrow morning. Which is actually okay. This is not a sponsored thing, and I'm not buying you breakfast. However, if you happen to be up on Saturday or Sunday morning and you want to have a great sit down breakfast experience, I highly endorse and recommend Golden Corral in Branson. They do their breakfast, I think, starting at 8 and go until 11. Get there a little bit earlier is the right thing to do. But the value is incredible. $12.99 includes your drink. But the breakfast food is fantastic. It just is. Everything up there. And they've got it all. They've got oh, it's below freezing all day Sunday. Well, that's dumb, but okay. Below freezing all day Sunday, but then we're going to shoot back. Yeah, bookmark Storm Trek 360 because I have yet to see in my life where you have hard shifts like that that some type of weather incident doesn't come into play. But then again, things have changed a lot since I was a youngin, with how things supposed to work. So I don't know. But oh, thanks for the heads up there. Um, Six Sisters. Hey, there you go. Love those gals. I do, I do, I do. And yeah, it's like Kathy and Aaron and all Aaron's girls and everybody else they got over there. I just absolutely adore them. We have made a lot of memories back in the day. And I have a lot of respect for them. Man, I do. They are just such wonderful people and hardworking, dedicated, man. That's how I know Six Sisters is going to be probably one of the most successful businesses downtown. Again, seriously, I'm not even playing. I'm not being biased. I'm not picking it on anyone else. Now, Rick will always be the longest serving owner business there. Yes, he's already conquered that. But when it comes to your food and beverage establishment, Six Sisters, that's one I could always recommend, no matter what, because I just know that when it comes to Aaron and with Kathy and their work ethic is unbelievable, unbelievable. When they first opened up Frenzy all those years ago, that place was such a premier joint especially for shopping for the ladies, and their whole experience there that they put in was just admirable. It was great. It just was. And so I've just always, and then the stuff that they did for downtown with the before there was even a HHBA, really. I mean, the things that were happening with the Christmas lights and all of that, the HHBA thing just kind of came not so much as an afterthought, but it was kind of an afterthought um, compared to what the mission itself was. And so again, they were so instrumental in all that. And so in the ebbs and flows, it comes and goes. And again, like, you know, the highs of it, getting it kicked off, and then the dip, and then with Rick Schoenberger, here you go, I'm shouting out again, buddy. But when he stepped it back up, and he really took the charge and rock and roll. But then again, public support, people. If you don't support these things, you can say you want it all day long, but you better show up. You just got to, because if you don't, well, there's only so much one person could do. They did a lot, along with Liz and Mary Jean and Billy. I mean, a lot of folks put in so much work that can fade to history if I don't remind you. And again, it's not a matter of, it's a matter of respect as far as I'm concerned, because I truly appreciate the efforts that I've seen people do. And the folks who are doing things now, great. Keep going. Don't stop. Know though that there will be ebbs and flows, and it will be tough. And I hope you've got that extra push. I do. I know. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, so the Maple Money Maker. What an interesting name for our coffee. Hmm. The Maple Money Maker. Well, it's maple flavored, and Aaron and the Six Sisters made some money off of you, Derek. That's a good thing. Oh my goodness, 31 minutes into 8 o'clock, and again, it's Friday, so I think if you're still in that 9 to 5 Monday through Friday setup, that's great. This is your happy day, right? So be good with it, enjoy it, make it productive. That's the main thing I'm gonna push everybody. Don't allow the clock to dictate your productivity. Another thing I learned too. It's so funny because in everything that I do these days, and have been for years now, is like I kind of broke free of that 9 to 5 mentality. And honestly, before then, because like in the world of like, be it broadcasting or be it management or whatever else you're doing, that 9 to 5 thing is a good idea, but not necessarily practical at all, because you wind up having to do so much other stuff that it goes way outside of those boundaries. But it's a nice thought. But still, I don't know. It's important to make sure you make the best out of every day. I'm just stressing that, man, because the satisfaction that comes in that work ethic push, I just love it. I really do. But I think I am going to tie this thing up kind of quick, because I got some things I do want to get to, and it's nice outside. I want to go see some sunshine for a minute because I just want to. But I did want to go ahead and once again, I want to point something out from the book. Um, because I want you to remember this. Because again, with the book itself, again, I use toys as the reference talking point because they're fun to look at. I mean, come on, look at this. That's fun. You don't think that's fun? What's wrong with you? Anyway, but when it comes to thinking about the things that are around you every day, whatever it is, and you've got that little trinket that you keep it and you because you like it, but do you connect with it again? And that's really what it all boils down to. And right there, page 9, we start off in the introduction there as far as the spark inside the plastic. Or it could be cloth, or it could be brick, or it could be whatever. It's your world, baby. But right off the bat, understand, let's get this, let's get something straight right from the jump. This isn't about nostalgia. It's not about justifying your hobby to some smug outsider or turning your collection into an Instagram worthy showroom, nor is it about trying to recapture a childhood that's long gone. It's about remembering what you never really forgot. And that this little book of mine can help you pull that up. And then when we have coffee together, I'm hoping that I can trigger some of that. So where just get you think about something. Again, thinking about like with the circus. Can you imagine, and I know you can. Again, remember that moment, that awe-inspiring moment that you watched in real time, in the real world, outside of the box, and you had to talk about it for a long time because it impacted you. And then whenever you do recall that memory and talk about it again, you feel it again. Funny how the brain box works, isn't it? I think so. So, and that's what it's all about. And it's those little things like that, those little totems that can help boost you throughout the day if you're mindful of it. And I bet you right now, if you look to your left or your right, front, back, up, down, side to side, you probably got something right now that can. give you that feeling that gives you that little bit of energy to boost you through what maybe have been a long, hard week. But now you're ready. You got a little extra like Pac-Man power pill, but don't take a pill. Pills are bad. Sorry, they are. Coffee. Coffee's good. Water. Water's good. Husker. Best co-host ever. He's like Silent Bob. He doesn't even snore as hard as he's sleeping. You'd think he would. But, excuse me, kids. Boy, with a cough like that, that means I definitely need to go. But I do hope you all have a fantastic rest of the day and the weekend. And again, if you're out, I don't know exactly what time we're going up there. I know 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll be here with you. And then shortly after that, we are going to cruise up there. Because again, and I love the crew up there. That's the thing. Like the general manager, Mike, such a genuinely nice guy and a man who is dedicated to his career in the food service industry as the general manager. I mean, he takes a lot of pride in the place. Yeah, everybody's got ups and downs, things happen, but that's a guy who sincerely enjoys the career path that he has followed, and I appreciate that because a lot of folks in the food service industry is really they catch a lot of grief, man. It's a hard job. There's no doubt about it, and then plus people discount that role, and just kind of like, it's just kind of, yeah, like the fast food folks and everything. Listen, man, if you're looking for a career path, it's kind of a little different nowadays, maybe, but at the same time, I know a lot of people who made a good living doing that. And there is never shame in work. Never, 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 never. Because regardless of what it is you're doing, long as you're doing the best you that you can do, that's something to definitely hold pride in, take pride in, not in the prideful way, but taking pride. That's a good thing. All right, that's enough of the pep talk for the morning. Let's go do something. You ready? No, I am. See you guys in the morning.